G'day, I'm Steve Lanchester and this is my 1978 BJ40 Toyota LandCruiser. A lot of you people who like Toyotas or have watched four-wheel drive action will instantly know what this type of vehicle is. It's, of course, a 40 Series LandCruiser, and I reckon they're a mighty special vehicle. Probably one of those cars credited as being sort of almost a founder of Outback Australia. From the 50s to the 80s, you would have seen these things absolutely everywhere, and to an extent you still do. But this one's in pretty poor shape. I picked it up in Mullumbimby in northern New South Wales, and it's obviously spent a bit of time outside and it's rusted out a fair bit. Now, you've seen this in the previous episode of Bullbar where I actually picked it up from where it was being stored. In this episode, I'm going to give you a bit of a run through some of its finer aspects, because it's a pretty interesting car if you're not used to old beasties like this thing. So we'll give you a bit of a squiz at a mighty fine piece of Australian history. Let's get cracking. What we'll show you is the defining feature of this car, and this essentially makes it a BJ40 and not an FJ40, and that is, of course, it has a B series diesel engine, this one being the 1B engine, which is a 3 litre naturally aspirated 4-cylinder. You guys will probably know the FJ40, which is essentially the same car but with a 4.2 litre inline 6-cylinder engine. So the main feature about the B series engine is that they are horrifically slow and they go for like 1,000,000 kilometres, which is a part of its charm, of course. I've already thrown around the idea of putting like a 14BT diesel, like a turbo diesel in it. But I sort of get the odd suspicion that doing that would probably wreck the whole charm of this car. So maybe something I'll do down the track when I get sick of only being able to do 85 down the highway, but we'll soon find out. Another lovely feature of the 40 series is the fact that the bonnet goes right up like this. It's sort of like a Subaru, how they like right up. This one actually has a bonnet prod thing, which is kind of interesting. I didn't know they had that. This particular car also has this schmick as worn winch, which may or may not work. I haven't tried it yet. And a set of spotties from like the 1990s with like 100 billion watt halogen globes in it, which would probably light bunnies on fire, if you come across any. Cool old features. I'll probably get rid of the spotties because they're absolutely munted, but this winch is pretty schmick. It's actually a worn, so it might be of moderate quality if it actually still works. Up the front here we also have this thick Bullbar, which looks like it was made from a farm gate, and it may or may not meet ADR approval, but that's not what 40 series is about, are they? It also has this thing here for stuff, probably to put your fishing rod on if you go down to the beach. Hence this car is so rusty. Now, another defining feature of the BJ40 is the fact that it's a 40 series on the dot, which means that it's a short wheelbase chassis. whereas a 45 series and a 47 series are the long wheelbase. So that's pretty important in that it is a short wheelbase. Like, I mean, it's properly short, and a lot of you people may already know that I love short wheelbase LandCruisers. And to give you an idea as to how short this actually is, you can get both of your hands and touch the wheels. Now try and do that with your Suzuki Swift. You just can't. So that means a couple things. Because it is so short, they go mecca off-road. Like, they're just a point and shoot car. It also means that they're really easy to roll over, and the ride is horrendous. Which is, I don't know, you don't buy a 40 series to drive around in absolute luxury, do you? If you have bought a 40 series to drive around in absolute luxury, something is wrong with you. If you're looking for comfort, you've come to the wrong place, yeah. Because there really isn't a terrible lot of that kicking around inside here. Like, I mean, feature-wise, it's got a heater, which is like this big metal box in between the two people in here. Big, sharp metal box-looking thing that looks like you could get tetanus from it, and it definitely has to be ADR approved. Also have this super safe dash pad here, which is designed so you don't crack your skull in half if you have an impact at 25 k's an hour. Also has a speedo and a fuel gauge. Yeah, that's about it, but honestly that's kind of why I bought it, because you just don't find cars where you hop into it and all you've got are 3 pedals, a gear stick and a steering wheel. It's taking you back so far to basics that you essentially have nothing, and that's brilliant. Another awesome thing about owning a 40 series is that you can't rob a bank. You just can't. And I'll show you why. So, say you're looking to take off, you've just stolen $1 million and it's in the back. We'll make it a couple $1 million. $1 million really doesn't get you that far these days, but you've just got your couple $1 million in the back and you're looking to take off. So this is the starting procedure. Okay, so ignition actually goes backwards, so the key goes backwards. And you've got to do a thing called glowing it. Now, you diesel owners would know what I'm talking about, but to start a diesel you have to warm up your glow plugs. So I've initiated it now, and there's a little element on the dash that goes red, like a really hot looking red, when the glow plugs are hot enough for you to start on it. That should be hot enough. Also, it's probably not the quietest thing on the face of the planet, so if you're trying to get away from some coppers, they'll probably hear you. I honestly don't know why you'd use a 40 series as a getaway car. I'm sure somebody has at some stage, and I admire that. Yeah, and the steering wheel is probably as big as Mars's orbit around the sun. Just the way I like it. As for the rear of the vehicle, it is probably one of the best looking rears on a car, like, ever. Simple, but elegant, that's for sure. Some of you Land Rover owners would probably recognise these rear windows, and I don't know, their only purpose seems to be to, like, obscure your view out of the back of the car by making it all bendy looking. But I kind of like it. Makes it interesting. Got an original 40 series tyre carrier on the back with this weird latch on it that seems as though it could probably chop off multiple fingers. We'll open that up. And this agricultural looking door handle. Nice touch. But once you open it all up, it's probably one of the most ergonomic and usable cargo areas in any car, because none of the space is taken up with plastic embellishments. It's essentially all the room that's inside of the car is just space. This bad boy's pretty rough. I have no idea what happened to it. Like, it must have spent some time on the beach, and it's had a resto in the past, and I've got to say they've done a shocking job. It's got so much rust in it. But what that means is that I'm going to be doing a bit of a resto on it, and I'll be chucking up videos here and there as to what I've been doing on it and all the processes and stuff like that. So this is sort of the premiere episode to give you an idea of what it looks like right now. So when I'm done, you guys will be going, mate, he's done a good job, or something along those lines. Anyway, we'll catch you next time when we next meet on the next episode of Full Bore.